evening. You're watching Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community, the news you can trust, events that recognize our culture and celebrate our South Asian community. I'm Nidhi Kathuria coming to you from Arai TV Gold Studio in New Jersey. In the news this evening, Indian Finance Minister Sitharaman terms Union Budget 2023 as beautifully balanced. Book event for Snakes in the Ganga draw big crowd in New Jersey. Northeast United States Carom Association NUSCA hold their annual Carom tournament. After the thundering success of Pathaan, will there be a Pathaan 2? Stay with us on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community for news in detail right after this short break. Calling the Union Budget 2023 a beautifully balanced budget, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on February 1st in Delhi hailed the budget over it providing greater rebate with simplified and smaller slabs. This budget is the last full budget by the PM Modi-led NDA government ahead of the 2024 general elections. Take a look.
This country has been waiting for direct taxation to be simplified. Also waiting for direct taxation to be a lot more easy in compliance, and therefore the new taxation regime that we brought in for direct taxation 2-3 years ago has now got greater incentives, greater attraction, so that people can unhesitatingly move from the old to the new. New one obviously is now attractive because it gives greater rebate. It also provides for a simplified and smaller slabs, lower rates of taxation, and also slabs which are nicely broken down. This is a budget which is beautifully balanced, both growth considerations, because the capital investment has never before seen double-digit. Large macroeconomic considerations have also been kept in mind. The fiscal consolidation has not been kept in the back burner. We've attended to it. We are respecting the glide path we gave ourselves 2 budgets ago. 6.4 this year fiscal deficit, and the forthcoming year for which the budget is presented now, 5.9% fiscal deficit. We want to make the new tax regime, which is without exemptions, attractive enough for people to think that this will be the best option for them because it gives them better rates.
The highest tax rates in our country were amongst the highest, even more than some of the developed countries. And so, in any case, it was introduced as an interim measure, and so that has now been reduced. So that the effective tax rate, highest effective tax rate becomes 39%.
The move is towards lower rates, but fewer avoidance measures and exemptions. So if you look at high net worth individuals, there are a number of tax avoidance removal measures in this budget, along with the reduction in surcharge. So if you look at market-linked debentures, if you look at very high value insurance policies, and a few other measures. So the marginal rate is coming down, but some of the devices used predominantly by those in that highest marginal tax rate are also being rationalized. So it's not necessarily a net reduction, it is a reduction from a high marginal rate inducing certain avoidance devices to a lower marginal rate with fewer opportunities to avoid.
An estimated 1,000 people living in the tri-state area gathered at the Royal Albert's Palace in Woodbridge Township, New Jersey on January 29 to listen to Rajiv Malhotra, author and researcher on Indic issues, who presented highlights of his latest best-selling book, Snakes in the Ganga. Malhotra holds the view that several institutions, Harvard University in particular, are engaged exploiting India's fault lines, that the individuals who are part of this project are of Indian origin being trained by the Western academia, and that there are wealthy Indian businessmen who are funding Harvard knowingly or unknowingly. Malhotra labels them as the snakes, a press release about the meeting said. The critical race theory, which is applied by some to address social structures in the USA, is being applied to Indian society without due diligence, according to Malhotra. Watch the highlights.
Are very good, I like it. But they want to encourage liberal arts. And the liberal arts they are encouraging are not Vedic liberal arts, but Harvard's liberal arts. This is a very serious problem. And they have brought liberal arts into IITs and IIMs. And they want to bring liberal arts into medical education. Idea being to make the technocrat more well-rounded. That's very good, but well-rounded with what? So you're finding that now some of the worst opponents that I'm having to fight are in IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, because they are deeply involved with Marxist liberal arts models, and they've applied those Marxist liberal arts models to Dalits, to minorities, so they've come up with this whole Marxist, ultra-leftist view of Indian civilization. And this is really the problem. And to flaw with the NEP 2020 is that they should have first developed the Vedic social sciences and then said, okay, these are the social sciences we're going to introduce in all these colleges, without first developing our own platform and our own foundation, our own framework. Just opening the door to liberal arts means that all these guys from the Western education, all the Indians who got their training in these kind of Western frameworks are the ones who are capturing the universities in India, making the things even worse. So the problems that we are fighting here have been exported there. So now it's going to happen in a bigger way in India itself, which is not helping us but making it even worse. So that's the tragedy of not having funded and supported all these decades the proper study of Vedic social sciences and Vedic mind sciences, and just importing whatever the West produces. Some of the stuff that the West produces is Indian knowledge, digested into Western frameworks and sent back to India. So we take it as Indian. Like, for example, you've heard of emotional intelligence. Harvard guy wrote this book on emotional intelligence, and it's considered a brilliant breakthrough, and all these corporate people in India invite him and he gives talks about emotional intelligence. Okay? And what you don't know is that when he was doing his doctorate in Harvard, he writes, and these are old archives you can dig up, and I have dug up, he writes that he's doing research on Indian meditators and Indian mind sciences he's doing, and he comes up that the idea of IQ is, as West has, is very limited. There is also other dimensions of intelligence. There are many parts of intelligence, and what IQ is only one part, and he wants to expand IQ and he brings in emotional intelligence. But he says that during his doctorate, people told him that if you bring in Indian religion, nobody will give you a PhD, so he got rid of it. It was basically plagiarizing. in a sense he's plagiarizing because he's not quoting the sources. He's borrowing from sources, he's dishonest, not quoting them. I've confronted him and now he started giving a little bit of lip service once in a while. But the Indians themselves don't know that the whole emotional quotient and emotional intelligence movement came out of Indian thought. If you know anything about Sri Aurobindo, one of his models is called Multiple Planes and Parts of Being. If you read his book, The Life Divine, a major chapter is called Planes and Parts of Being. And he says that the being, which means us, in the inner being, has many planes and many parts in each plane. And yoga consists of looking at all these planes and parts and unifying them. And that is really the essence of this whole Maslow came up with the Maslow pyramid, which is very famous. And this other guy came up with emotional intelligence, which is also very famous. But these are based on planes and parts of being. These are based on that. So the ideas from India travel, they get digested, and then they get distorted, then they got exported back to us, and some of them are actually causing us harm because they're not authentic. So I have a 10 volume book series planned, which is not complete, but I'm going to publish it.
Northeast United States Carrom Association NUSCA held their annual Carrom tournament, which attracted players from the United States and Canada. NUSCA is a local non-profit organization supporting Carrom activities, and this tournament was a true testament to their labor, with the highest ever participation of 116 players, with 30 new players joining the fray. Carrom marathon sessions were held on January 28th and 29th. Preeti Jakotia of California displayed her Carrom skills to those present at the Marriott Hotel in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, and several international Carrom fraternities who streamed the tournament online. Besides the players and their dogged determination, one of the highlights was the novel software designed by Naveen Chandran called USCA 2.0, which was rolled out at the NUSCA event. Preeti Jakotia of California was crowned the NUSCA 2023 champion. Ishan Rizvi won the doubles championship by partnering with Argyug. Abul Shakil Beg was the mastermind behind the success of NUSCA 2023. His presence for all participants seemed quite comforting, and in his inimitable, calm and collected demeanor, he tactfully marshaled his resources throughout the event. Enjoy the highlights.
We have founded in 2016 and we have been tournament. This is our 6th in-person tournament, and this time we are doing in Saddlebrook Marriott Hotel, and we are happy to announce that we got more than 100 registration this time from all over US and Canada. We have around 25 players participating from Canada, and we got some players from California, Texas, and all over the place. I'm very happy and excited to conduct this tournament. I'm doing this with the help of a lot of sponsors who are supporting me in this event, and also support from the media coverage like Parik Vat Media. I'm really grateful for them to cover this event, and this is our 6th in-person event, and we have 30 new participants this time coming up for the first time to play this tournament. They never thought that they can be a part of this professional tournament. People still think this carom is like a home game, but when they come and see the environment, the seriousness of this game, they are happy to play and come back again and again.
We are excited now to host NewsCar 2023 Winter Open Tournament. Myself, I'm Atul Bhave, and I'm a passionate carom player and associated with USCA since 2003. I was fortunate enough to hold various posts at USCA, including secretary, treasurer, and past president. I'm also founder member of NewsCar. We envisioned to have local chapters since 2005, and we were waiting for that critical mass, and then we found a new leader, Shakil Beg, and his team, and he is doing an excellent and phenomenal job. In this tournament itself, we have 30 new participants. So looks like it's a still way to go, but I think we are on the right track. And I wish NewsCar team and USCA's support and this tournament a great success. All the best, guys. Can't wait to participate and play. Thanks again.
So my name is Dr. Nilesh Mehta from Chicago. This event, NewsCar, has become a very important event for the carom lovers. Just imagine 30 new participants in this particular tournament. That is a true testament to the quality of this tournament that is being put together by Shakil Bhai and his entire team. And kudos to his entire team to put together more than 100 participants for a regional tournament. I think it is quite something.
Shah Rukh Khan's Pathaan is enjoying a roaring success at the box office worldwide. At a recent press conference with the leading cast and the director, Shah Rukh Khan hinted at the conception of Pathaan 2. Enjoy the video.
We can hear the answers. Because between you and me, सबसे अच्छे answers सिद्धार्थ ने prepare किए आज के लिए. सिद्धार्थ आज शेव करके भी आए हैं. और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं सबसे बड़ी बात, सिद्धार्थ आज नहाकर भी आए हैं. बेचारे पठान में इतने व्यस्त थे, खाने पीने नहाने धोने का वक्त ही नहीं मिला. तो आज पहली बार प्रेजेंटेबल, हम तो पहचाने नहीं जब अभी भी मिले सुबह उनसे. जॉन जो बहुत ज्यादा बात करता है वो और भी ज्यादा बात करेगा आज. और दीपिका और मेरा तो आपको मालूम ही है, हमें तो सिर्फ बहाना चाहिए प्यार करने का, किस करने का, गले लगने का. हम तो करते हैं. आप जो सवाल पूछेंगे मैं इसके हाथ को किस कर दूंगा, वही जवाब होगा. तुमको पाया है तो ऐसे मैं सबके इंट्रोडक्शन में गाना गाऊंगा. ये दीपिका के लिए.
दीपिका कितना अच्छा गाना गाते हैं. कभी सेट पे गाया था इन्होंने इतना? सेट पे? हाँ. नहीं, इस बार तो इन्होंने मुझे खाना खिलाया, जैसे पहले कह रहे थे. I know. पिज्जा खिलाया बहुत बार. But unfortunately, I was on a very, very strict diet, so I couldn't have his pizzas too often. But yeah, he's a good singer. तो सबसे बेस्ट गाना कौन सा गाते हैं ये? आपने कभी फील किया कौन सा गाते हैं? कौन सा गाना गाते हैं? कभी आपको गा के सुनाए, जैसे अभी गा के सुनाए ना?
दिल को बनावे जो पतंग. बहुत अच्छी किस्मत है कि मेरे पास लाखों करोड़ों मिलियंस बिलियंस लोग ऐसे हैं जो मुझे प्रेम देते हैं। तो जब मुझे दुख होता है तो मैं अपनी बालकनी पे आ जाता हूँ, जब मुझे सुख होता है मैं अपनी बालकनी पे आ जाता हूँ। कमाल की बात यह है कि मुझे गॉड ने इतना सराहा है कि मुझे उसने हमेशा के लिए बालकनी का टिकट दिया हुआ है।
Continuing with the news on entertainment on ITV Gold, enjoy Subhash Ghai's crime thriller Black and White, starring Anil Kapoor and Shefali Shah, this Friday at 8:30 p.m. EST. Watch Rishi Kapoor and Juhi Chawla in David Dhawan's 1992 blockbuster film Bol Ratha Bol this Saturday at 1 p.m. EST. Reserve is Sunday for Hrithik Roshan, Kareena Kapoor's musical drama Yaadein at 3 p.m. EST. And that's a wrap on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community tonight. Send us your suggestions and community news that you would like us to cover for our print and television coverage at events@itvgold.com. Follow us on our Facebook handle @ITVGold. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and pick up a free copy of Desi Talk if you're in the Tri-State or in the Chicago area for community news, entertainment and events in the US. You can also read the India Times newspaper online at www.newsindiatimes.com or subscribe to the hard copy by calling 212-675-7515. This is Nidhi Kathuria signing off.